This video is brought to you by Crawl. See it only in theaters July 12th. What's a good horror flick without a heroine to root for? Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 badass horror movie heroines.
Come on, get up.
These characters are sure to get you excited to watch Haley kick some ass in Crawl.
Come out, you son of a bitch!
Check out the trailer at the end of the video to see her in action. Number 10, Theresa Gelbman, the Happy Death Day franchise.
So I'm just supposed to keep dying until I figure out who my killer is? That's your genius plan.
Do you have a better idea?
Dubbed the coolest girl in horror by Style Island, Gelbman is a university student and sorority girl who relives the day before her death over and over until she discovers the identity of her murderer.
Tree, it's okay. It's okay, it's just me.
We know what you're thinking. Happy Death Day sounds like Groundhog Day, but with a decidedly morbid twist. Of course, the black comedy slasher is all that, but also much more, thanks to Jessica Rothe's performance as Tree. Like most of horror's final girls, she is badass.
He's going to escape. Go get help. Go!
But she also changes as a person throughout both films, learning lessons through the repeated experiences she goes through, and subsequently sharing them with others in the process.
Safety's off. Thanks for the tip.
Number 9, Lila Crane, Psycho.
I don't like you going to that house alone.
I can handle a sick old woman.
When Marion Crane steals $40,000 from the bank she works at, her attempt to get out of Dodge amounts to her untimely demise.
She stole some money.
A lot.
$40,000.
Determined to find out what happened to her sister, Lila is led to the Bates Motel.
Let's find him. One of us can keep him occupied while the other gets to the old woman.
She not only manages to discover Marion's fate and have her sister's killer arrested, she also keeps us invested when the film's supposed star dies early on. As shocking as that shower scene was, Lila's discovery of Mrs. Bates' body chills us to the core just as much. Number 8, Jamie J. Height, It Follows.
Is something wrong with me?
Look, somebody broke the window. That really happened.
But I saw a girl in the kitchen.
Featuring both supernatural and psychological elements, this surprise horror hit arguably serves as a lesson about the dangers of sexually transmitted infections. At its core is the teenage Jay, who's chased by an entity after having intercourse with her boyfriend Hugh.
Come back to tell you all. I shall tell you all, if you want.
Said entity may take the form of anyone and will try to kill you unless you have sex with someone else, who will then become the entity's new target. Starting off as a relatively timid young woman, Micah Monroe's Jay demonstrates determination throughout the film, even learning to shoot a revolver.
Jay, please!
Jay may be far from perfect, but her sense of self-preservation and the way she works with her friends make her a relatable and captivating heroine of modern horror.
Greg, are you okay? Greg.
Number 7, Rachel Keller, The Ring franchise. A horror film this scary needs a hero you can empathize with, and Rachel is just that.
That's it.
A mother who already dotes on her son, this single parent encounters troubles in the form of death, psychosis, and a VHS tape.
She told you about a videotape, didn't she?
Having unwittingly watched the cursed MacGuffin, Rachel must work to solve the mystery of the haunted tape before her 7 days are up.
7 days.
As the days tick by, not only must Rachel work fast to save her own life, but soon that of her son as well, pushing her to the limits of her resourcefulness and sanity.
What do you want from me?
Thankfully, Naomi Watts plays this multifaceted and increasingly desperate character with the complexity required to pull it off. And that was just the first time around.
Don't worry, sweetie. You're gonna be okay.
Number 6, Mia Allen, Evil Dead.
I will feast on your soul. Feast on this motherfucker.
When Evil Dead was remade/rebooted for a new generation, it was very clear that recasting Ash was a thankless job. So the filmmakers crafted Mia, a new character to serve as the protagonist, an addict who chooses what should be a peaceful cabin retreat to go cold turkey.
Mom would have hated seeing the cabin like this.
Mia has much worse things to contend with than mere withdrawal.
Baby, little baby, it's time to say goodbye. Baby, little baby.
Mia, please. I don't think you need sad memories in your head right now.
When a demon begins possessing her and her friends with tongue-splitting, blood-curdling results, she summons her inner strength and becomes the only character to survive the film. Thus, she confronts her inner demons and actual demons all at once.
You shouldn't have touched anything from that basement.
Number 5, Dana Polk, The Cabin in the Woods.
Let's get this party started.
What is it with horror movies and virginity?
The virgin.
Me? Virgin?
We work with what we have.
The Cabin in the Woods may not be the only horror film to poke fun at the genre's tropes, but it does it with style, as our designated virgin serves as the principal heroine. As one member of a group of college students who are tapped to die to ensure the world's continued existence, Dana is unwilling to play along, and all hell breaks loose.
I think I can get it to go down. Do we want to go down?
Though some may argue that sacrificing yourself is the heroic route, we think that rebelling against a system of torture and death earned her place here.
I'm so sorry I almost shot you. I probably wouldn't have.
Number 4, Laurie Strode, the Halloween franchise.
I'll kill you if this is a joke.
In the history of cinema, there have only been a handful of true scream queens.
I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Are you sure?
With her turn in this series of films, Jamie Lee Curtis ensured her inclusion on that list. In fact, she's practically a founding member.
What do we do? What do we do?
Try to live.
The biological sister of the murderous madman Michael Myers, Laurie Strode is a paragon of virtue, standing in defiance of a force of death and destruction.
Michael, stop!
We can only assume that a fragment of what makes her brother such a lethal adversary lives inside of her, allowing Laurie to survive several run-ins with such a savage determination, with her being strong enough to face him even 40 years after his original killing spree.
Goodbye, Michael.
Number 3, Nancy Thompson, the A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
When Wes Craven created Freddy Krueger, one of film's scariest serial killers was born.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
And every scary serial killer needs a brave heroine to terrorize. Despite her young age, Nancy uses her intelligence and bravery to seemingly defeat Freddy at his own game, which unfortunately is not always standard for the genre.
I'm okay. You go downstairs.
An important enough figure in the series' lore that Heather Langenkamp was even tapped to play herself in a meta-sequel of sorts, Nancy set the standard for anyone hoping to defy Freddy's will.
This is still a script we're talking about, right, Wes?
She's the horror heroine of our dreams.
Man of my dreams. He's real, isn't he? He's real.
Number 2, Sidney Prescott, the Scream franchise.
He's sick for You've seen one too many movies.
Nah, Sid! Don't you blame the movies!
Created by Kevin Williamson for Wes Craven's Scream series, Sidney again and again finds herself in the crosshairs of the Ghostface killer, but keeps her wits about her, discovers their identity, and survives.
What do you want?
I want you. It's showtime.
This is made all the more impressive given the genre-obsessed nature of her assailants, who aren't likely to fall for the typical scary movie traps that beat so many villains.
The killer called her. What? When?
What'd he say? Oh, you know, the usual small talk. What's new, how you been, how you gonna die.
Consistently tormented by people she's close to, Sidney outmaneuvers them all while remaining a kind-hearted person, which may be her most courageous act.
Well, now I'm the special one.
You'll slip, they always do.
Before we reveal our top pick, just a reminder that if you love the characters on this list, be sure to check out Crawl, where Haley fights off alligators and weathers a deadly storm to save her father. Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Ellen Ripley, The Alien Franchise. For any of you that think the Alien franchise doesn't count as a horror series, we defy you to watch these films and not be terrified beyond belief.
No! No!
Beginning as a warrant officer, Ellen Ripley becomes a total badass in her own right through her encounters with the eponymous creature.
Why should we put our ass on the line for you?
Your ass is already on the line. The only question is, what are you gonna do about it?
Whether it's the heart-stopping tension of the first film, the high-octane action of the second film, or the insanity of the third and fourth, Ripley is at the heart of it all.
What happens now?
I don't know. I'm a stranger here myself.
Dispatching xenomorphs left and right, she stands toe-to-toe with an alien queen and comes out on top.
Get away from her, you bitch.
If that doesn't ensure her place atop this list, nothing will.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
This video is brought to you by Crawl. See it only in theaters July 12th. Check out the trailer here.